usual, and I wanted to update you on the kind of rig building project. The next step after kind of the very introduction and deciding what you want to do is to kind of plan out your rig. I've kind of jumped ahead a few steps because there's kind of auditioning pieces, and I'm going to show you some of the video footage that I've taken and that I will take when I'm auditioning some pieces to put in the rig or not. In the last video about whether you want pedal board, whether you want a rack or a sort of hybrid system, best of both worlds if you like, that I'm going for, you want to just kind of draw out roughly what you want. My first drawing didn't have any of the pieces in, it was literally just blocks on a piece of paper. Just sort of the layout, the structure of it overall. This new drawing that I'm just about to pop on the screen, that has kind of, that's going to be what the final rig is going to sort of look like. Okay, so I'll pop that picture on the screen and I'll talk you through it. Yeah, so there you can see a really simple drawing. It's not to scale or anything like that. This is just more or less, boilers kicked in. This is just more or less what I want the rig to sort of look like and how I want it to function. Okay, so you can see that I've already named all of the pedals and all of the racks and everything that I'm going to have, because I've pretty much decided on those units. But when I first started, this was pretty much a blank page with a couple of squares on and stuff like that. It looked like a black and white Mondrian painting. Yeah, so we'll start with a pedal board. This is what I kind of decided first, and I already had most of the units that I wanted. The top right, we're going to go in at a sort of interface or a junction box, and I'm going to have the Boss TU2 somewhere accessible down there, as well as the wall. I'm then going to run into the Barber tone press, which is the compressor I've decided on. Then going to have overdrives, fuzzers or boosts 1 and 2. And then we're going to run into a true bypass loop pedal, which will select one or both of the Arion SCH1s. So I'm going to have a dual sort of chorus set up for a really thick, lush chorus, or the occasional time I might want to have one as a chorus and one as like a Leslie sound or something like that, and I can set them and bring them in and out using the loop. I'm going to have a pick tin there. It's going to be powered via the Voodoo Lab Pedal Power 2 Plus, as per usual. And I've got the H&K MIDI controller, Hughes & Kettner MIDI controller down there, because probably that's going to be enough. So you might find that when we actually wire that up, it might not necessarily run in that order, although it's probably going to. But things might move around if I need more access to certain things than others, etc. But that's roughly what I want it to look like, okay. Next we move on to the rack. So at the top of the rack I'm going to have the power strip, and then underneath the blanking plate with like a cable access brush. It's like got a letterbox, and so you can slide the cables through and plug them in the power strip along the top, keep all the wires kind of neat and tidy out the way. Next unit down is going to be the TL Audio 5013 EQ, channel 1 and 2. It's a 2-channel unit, EQ unit. I'm going to show you why I chose that over another EQ unit. Underneath that I'm going to have the TC Electronic D2 for delays, the Lexicon MPX 100 for kind of mainly reverbs, possibly splashes of other sounds. Then I'm going to have a blanking plate or a draw, or another unit as I feel that I need to add to it in the future, and possibly an alternative preamp or something. And then finally we're going to have the interface on the box, or the interface or junction box. And then of course you've got the amp there, and I've opted for most likely a 212 setup for this. So that's really simple. You can see it's really just a hack together drawn in paint. It took me probably half an hour if that, but that gives us a good idea of what the finished product is going to sort of look like. I've also got another drawing which I'll show you kind of further down the line, kind of like a schematic and a wiring diagram of that. After you've decided on kind of what format you want to use and you've thought about what you want it to actually do, then's the time to draw out sort of what you picture in your head. You want to put it down on paper. Alright guys, stay tuned for part 3. Until next time, take it easy.